Welcome to Live with Greg, or Live with Greg, depending on semantics.
This is like cheers. Cheers. Hashtag ad.
Alright.
Put out a product placement for that.
There you go. Yeah. So we're here with another episode of Live with Greg. I forget what number. One something.
You invited me and didn't even ask you how your podcast is named. Your podcast is named Live with Greg?
No, yeah.
That's cute. I like that.
Alright, so, and we're here with Sarah from Germany.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Germany.
And we just co-produced a production to be
a student-driven experiment.
Yeah.
/ experience, but more experiment.
More experiment. And I think it was successful.
It was really successful.
Ja.
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 Ja. War sehr erfolgreich.
Alright, so one of the concepts when I first started this podcast was like how hard it is to live with Greg. So what would you say is one of the challenging things for you in working with me?
Oh gosh. It's like an interview, okay? I have to think. Let me think. Challenging things. I think it was really, really good to work with you because you had a lot of ambitions for this project, and like I'm a really ambitious person, and it was really helpful and healthy for this project that he was so ambitious and he did so many things that I didn't feel the pressure to do it myself, because usually when I'm having huge projects and when I'm having a lot of projects, I always feel pressured, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, and I have to do everything myself, so I'm not bordering anyone with too much work. But Greg actually wanted to do things himself. Like, he was like, okay, let's do posters, let's talk to the press, let's talk to the college, like, let's do these and these, and I was like, okay, then do it, fantastic, so I don't have to do it. It was really nice. What was challenging? Oh gosh, I think we were both a little bit stubborn. Like, we were both probably really stubborn. It was like, yeah, the set, like, we were building the set, like, you want this like pink fabric for our set, and it's like, I don't like the pink, but you wanted the pink, and then we were fighting about, are we gonna do it pink or just yellow? Turns out it just ended up just yellow. I think maybe, I don't know, it wasn't really a challenge, but maybe this is something that was like, because I'm used to people like, yeah, Sarah, just do whatever you think is right. And at this point we actually had to okay, no, let's talk about if we're gonna do it pink or yellow. Let's talk about, okay, how are the posters gonna look like, or let's talk about the name. So it was not a challenge, but maybe there was something that, co-producing and not me being in charge of everything, like something we actually had to co-produce, and we actually have to make agreements on things. Not that I'm not making agreements with other people on other things, but usually people are just like, yeah, Sarah, like, you're gonna figure it out, it's gonna be alright. Like, if there's something that we absolutely don't know, we will tell you, but as long as we're not saying anything, it's all good. And this is what I was used to, and then actually co-producing something like this, it was not challenging, but maybe it was something new. Like, I cannot think of anything else. Like, I don't know, in the end maybe we were both really stressed, we were probably both really annoying, because I was like nervous, oh my gosh, like my lines and my set, what are we gonna do? And one thing, I remember what was challenging. He invited the press. He invited the press without telling me, without asking me for permission. Maybe that was challenging. I was not mad that the press was there. I was just mad that he didn't ask me before he invited the press. That was probably the most challenging part. It was just like, he didn't even tell me. I found out because he put me in CC the email that he wrote to the press guy that is always attending here in our area all the performances. He put me in CC. This is how I found out that he invited the press, and he invited the press guy personally. He didn't even tell me.
I told you we were doing media.
Yes, but he didn't tell me that he's inviting the press. I thought, with
That's
media. No, you said you will let the press know that it's happening, but he informed the press guy personally. And he didn't ask me, he didn't tell me. I was not mad that the press was there, I didn't care. Like, it was okay that the press was there, I was just mad that he didn't ask me. It's like, co-producing means we have to talk about everything, and we literally talked about every single detail, but he invited the press without asking me. For him it was easier. He was the director. He was not on stage acting. I was on stage acting. So yeah, maybe that was the most challenging part. I mean, it's whatever that the press was there, but still, this was something that I was just mad that I haven't been asked.
Are you still mad?
Yes. I will not forgive you that.
All right.
Whatever, it's alright, it's okay. What was the most challenging part of working with me?
Being so close to showtime and no show was like, I think you guys had one rehearsal.
That's not true, we had like 4.
No, but like there was one point, I think it was either, how many rehearsals did you guys have before spring break?
Before spring, oh gosh, I have no idea. Not a whole lot.
I think 1 maybe, or 2.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more, like maybe 3. I really don't know.
But here's what I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it wasn't challenging. I was just like, wow, there may not be a 1/2 play. Like, it may not just happen, and okay, that's life.
But I was worried about the same thing. But this is my own fault. I'm just like not asking for help. Like I talked to our teacher who was the supervisor of this entire project during spring break. Like half of the time of rehearsal, like more than half of the time of rehearsal was already over, and that was the first time when I actually like talked to our teachers. Like, hey, we have like some difficulties. Like we're like having problems with meeting up because people have different lives and different schedules. And we were 8 people. Like get 8 people in one room, like in the afternoon or in morning time during the week, not the weekends or the evenings because they were blocked with other rehearsals. Like trying to get 8 people in the same room at the same time with different work schedules was really hard. And the first time I actually like communicated that was during spring break, and it was like 2-3 weeks before rehearsals. I just should have done it earlier, but I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. It's gonna be alright. I'm gonna figure it out. But after we talked and we had like some changes, this is also when like one of our actors dropped out because he was just like, I don't 100% know his reasons why he dropped out, but it was probably a combination of, okay, it's not straightforward enough, and I'm having so much other things to do, and he was also playing in Loya in your play, and time-wise and lines and everything, so it was a lot. So I think this is the most reason why he dropped out, and then we had to find a replacement, but it was me in the end, because that was the easiest option, because I was obviously at all the rehearsals and I knew the script, so I could learn the lines easily and the blocking. Yeah, but that's that. Yeah, that was challenging for both of us.
Yeah. But I will say, like, you pulled it together beautifully. I would go into another production with you 110%.
And now I learned a lot. Like, I learned it's good to have a rehearsal schedule set up before. Like, this what you and Aaron did, like, set up a schedule before. Okay, we were meeting every Monday. When did you meet? Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Something like this is smart. Like, letting people know, okay, this is the meeting times. If you cannot attend the meeting times or the rehearsal times, then do not audition. And what Maya and I, the director of our production, what we did, we just casted people that we, like, everyone could audition, we casted people that we liked and we wanted to participate. And after that we realized, oh, okay, this person is working at this time, this person is working at this time, something that we were thinking about this before, but we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna figure it out, it's gonna be alright, we will make time. But it was harder than we expected. So, and then I was working a lot and she was taking a lot of classes, and then we're also the drama club presidents here at our college, so we were really busy with that. Yeah, like all difficulties, but this is something that I've learned. Definitely, like, make a fixed schedule before so people know, okay, if I cannot make the rehearsal times, I should not audition. I mean, in the end, it was really good. We found like at least one time a week that we all had time. There was a Wednesday afternoon. This is when we met from this time on, like every Wednesday for a period of time, and then Friday. And then we had like some rehearsals where, because I was then going for the lead and I was on stage the entire time, and then I was meeting up with individual people like, hey, can we rehearse our part with like the love interest, for example, or can we rehearse our part with the best friend, or can we rehearse our part with the party host, because I had a lot of, like, my character had a lot of dialogue with other people. And so I was meeting up with other people when they had time, and then we were rehearsing that. So we had like one official rehearsal time, that was Wednesday, and then just 2 people or 3 people with the director, and like someone else who was just emotional supporting was there, and then we rehearsed just with like, not all people, but at least a few people. And that helped. And then we were meeting up a lot the last 2 or 3 weeks before performances, because we decided, okay, we want to get this done, we want to make this work. And as far as we are now, we're not having a show, so we had to put like a lot of time and effort in it. But it worked. It worked good. Yeah.
Worked well, yeah. So in your play,
Am I talking too much?
yes, all the time. No.
Oh, am I allowed to
In
drink
your
this?
play,
Is this not
yeah, we can drink and
Yeah, we
you
can
can
drink.
smoke.
I'm not smoking. I'm a non-smoker and I'm a non-alcoholic. No power drugs, dear kids.
In your play, you have a line about the liberal politics of America, how wonderful they are.
Yeah.
Is that
In my long monologue.
a personal belief? Like, do you think that American politics are positive? And
I mean, this line, how is it? In the line, the main character Bianca, she's actually joking, like her best friend, and they're doing improv, like kind of improv theater with each other, and she's saying to him that he deeply worships America for its liberal and exemplary democratic policies. And she is kind of joking around in this, and I mean it's all improv and they're really, really overdramatic with each other. And this line could be like actually interpreted in like different ways. She could actually like mean the things that she's saying.
but what about you, Sarah?
I'm not saying my political perspective.
What's your personal political, now that you've been here 2 years, what do you think of the United States politics?
I am not communicating my political views online. I'm taking a lot of political science classes this past year, and when I learned something from political science classes, then, I mean, oh gosh, this is also political. Like whatever I'm saying is political, but yeah, like this line can be interpreted in like really, really different ways. Like I don't know how much Bianca's actually meaning from what she's saying in this monologue. She might mean some things. She might is joking about other things.
Yeah, but what about you?
I'm pleading the fifth on that.
Okay. All right. So when you were in Germany,
Yes.
what was the seed of thought that you had, like, I want to move to California for a year?
Well, I wasn't necessarily thinking about I want to move to California. I just wanted to. So I was like in high school. I was about to graduate from high school. Like in Germany we call it not high school, but I'm just gonna call it high school right now because it's like technically the same thing. And I wanted to go to university, but I was like, hey, like I will never get the time back that I'm having right now. I'm really young and COVID and everything happened. I was like, hey, it would be sad that I'm jumping like from one school right to the next school to university. So maybe why not like be brave and just use the opportunity and the time I have now and just do something else. Just do something crazy, because I don't know, I feel like I'm crazy in nature a little bit. But this is something in Germany, because I was like really, really focused on school my entire life. Like school was everything for me. I feel like the craziness inside me I've never really like lived before, and I was like, okay, maybe that could be an opportunity to actually like experience how it is to actually like live the crazy side inside of me. So I was like, okay, maybe go somewhere. I don't know, go out of Germany, just go somewhere where you don't have to go to school. Obviously I ended up in school again because I'm just a learning person. I just like learning things. But just go somewhere and just take the opportunity to like actually see what do I want to do, and not having so much responsibility for my life, because in my head was always, okay, when I'm messing up this math exam in 8th grade, my life will be ruined. So it's like, okay, maybe I'm taking at least this pressure out of me, because now I can take classes here, but if I fail them, it doesn't matter for my future life. I'm not failing any of my classes. I'm having straight A's in any of my classes. I have no idea how that happened, honestly. But I just could take like this pressure out of me and get another pressure with like other things, but I could at least knew that whatever I'm doing right now would not affect my future life so much. So I was okay, let's just go somewhere, and then I heard of this au pair program that I'm in. Like I heard from it like a few years prior, but it was nothing I was really thinking about. But I was working with kids before, so I did tutoring a lot and I did babysitting, like classics. So I thought, yeah, this is something that I definitely can do. And then I got into this program, and I couldn't choose like the state where I would live in, but so how it happens, like the families can like email us or text us if they like our profile, and then we can reply, we can talk to them, and then we can choose each other kinda, but I cannot find the families can only find me. and then you can make a contract. And this is what I did, and the family that I moved in here in California was the one that, like, we chose each other. This is why I came here. We had nothing specifically to do with this place. And honestly, when I moved here, I didn't know anything. Like, after I had my contract fixed with this family, and people asked me, oh yeah, where are you going to the United States? And I was like, yeah, California. People were like, oh my gosh, crazy, and wow, and beautiful. And I was like, okay, I don't know anything. And then I did research on it. When I decided to move here, I had no ideas about the United States at all. Like, I didn't know anything about the United States.
That's crazy.
Like, nothing.
Right.
But
probably like I know Germany, like, very little.
I knew, okay, New York City is a thing. Los Angeles is a thing. Yes.
San Francisco's a thing.
I probably didn't. I mean, okay, I did knew that, yes, but
not as much as
I didn't know a whole lot about the United States. I didn't know that California is a thing, like, for people. This is something I found out after I was telling people, okay, I'm going to California, but I had, like, really no expectations. Okay, I want to go to California, or I want to go to New York City, or I want to go to, like, Florida, like, places that are considered wow, especially in, like, European contexts. But then when I, like, heard about, okay, it is supposed to be, like, a nice place, I was like, okay, this is really exciting. And then I came here and stayed longer than I expected. And I love it. Like, California is wonderful. I've been to a lot of places. I think I've been to 17 US states so far. And California is definitely the best one. Like, from my personal perspective, I just love California. Like, there are wonderful places out here, and I've saw, like, a lot of beautiful cities. I love Seattle. I really love New Orleans, Chicago, New York City, Atlanta. Great places, but I don't know. I lost my heart here in California, especially here in San Francisco.
All right. Do you find that the people of the United States, generally speaking, are welcoming and friendly?
Yes, absolutely. Political science classes are a little bit tricky sometimes. Political science majors and discussions in political science classes can be hard, especially when you're the only German under a lot of Americans. In Germany it's different, because in German classes we're all German, and when we're talking about history and politics, we cannot attack each other for each other's citizenships. And unfortunately, I feel like it happens sometimes that, like, in political debates, we jump in a little bit in us, the Americans, and you, the Germans. That's a little bit sad. But this is, I don't know, just something I had to, not something I had to learn, but something I just had to learn to, like, feel comfortable with, because when you're talking about, I don't know, politics, and I don't know, I feel like I have different perspectives because I just grew up differently, and just sometimes when people make fake arguments about, okay, you're not allowed to say anything about that because you're German, and you cannot, like, make comments about American politics because what do you know? That's a little tricky, but I think we're kind of getting closer in being, like, really inclusive. People, like, in the drama department are really inclusive. People that I met so far are really, really inclusive, and I was used to being really, really welcomed because I was part of the drama department, like, really early on when I moved here, and I'm just doing politics for about a little bit more than half a year now, and it's, like, just a completely different world, and I was really used to being welcomed all the time and just being Sarah. This is another thing. For the drama people, I'm Sarah, their classmate, or Sarah, the one who's playing in the show, or Sarah from the acting class. For the politics science people, I will always be Sarah from Germany. And that's, like, a really different way of seeing me. And sometimes it's annoying because I just want to be, I don't know, I'm just Sarah, their classmate. Yeah. When we're all sitting in a class, I just want to be Sarah, their classmate. But it's just, I don't know, it's part of my history, and I don't know, I just had to learn to, I don't know, deal with it. Because not all the time it's, like, really nice to be always the one who's kind of different, but it's okay.
What about, like, both our countries have histories that are shameful? Like, you know,
I
like,
think
hurtful?
every
Right.
country has, like, their shameful histories.
Ours are very much close, you know, they're historically close to the present day. And from what I've heard, Germany is very open in acknowledging its history, and I don't think the United States is. Do you find that to be true?
It's interesting because we just recently talked about this in political science classes. and my teacher was mentioning a book, and I can't remember the author, unfortunately, but it was named, I think, Learning from the Germans, and it was about how the Germans like talk about their history and present their history and how they take responsibility for their history. This is what this book said. This is not like my word. This is just what this book said. This is what he was telling us about. And we had a huge political debate about if this is right, is this wrong, or like how we should like deal with how we should deal with our history. By the way, if I'm making any grammar mistakes, when something sounds weird, I'm still learning English. I'm not, like, English is not my first language, obviously. So if something sounds weird, it's not because I want to be rude. I'm still learning.
So far, you're doing fine.
So, yeah, we had a political debate about that, and I wouldn't, like, make a comment on that specifically because I feel like this is something I still have to learn a lot about, because for whatever topic I am like getting into, like, I don't know, theater, I'm a huge history nerd, I'm a huge science nerd, but for whatever I started learning, I realized, the more I learn, I realize, oh my gosh, I know nothing. Like, the more I learn about specific things, I recently got like really interested in like specific Asian countries, totalitarian regimes, politics, and the more I learn about them, the more I realize I don't know anything. So when I don't know a lot about how the United States is presenting and like their history. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I know some things about how Germany is presenting their history and talking about their history, but I don't think I know enough to actually like say that Germany is doing a better job than the United States, or another country is doing a better job than another. Do you want something to drink, Greg? Do you? Are you happy? You. Is it spicy?
Something's in my throat.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Sorry. We need to give you water. So I don't know enough about it to actually make a comment on that. That's like what I was trying to say. I would not start talking about, I don't know, molecular biology because I don't know enough about it.
Well, so I heard in elementary school, World War II is part of the education of elementary school children in Germany.
It was not in my elementary school.
It wasn't? Okay. Because like here in the United States, I just learned of a massacre in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where it was referred to as Black Wall Street because it was so wealthy, and it was wiped out. And I just learned of that 2 years ago.
Honestly, when so I'm coming from a background, like in my family, we're not really talking about politics. We're also not really talking about history. Like my family, we're like absolutely ordinary people who have like really ordinary lives. This is how I grew up. Like really, like mother, father, married, in a house with a dog. And I went to elementary school and I went to secondary school. This is like how my life was. Like really, like a stable environment. Like nothing really extraordinary. With like ordinary stable jobs that my parents had. Not really wealthy, not poor, like absolutely stable, absolutely normal, and we just never really talked about politics. And honestly, I think I was in 7th grade or 8th grade even when I first ever heard of like World War II and the past. And also, I think I was in 7th grade when I ever heard, so it was like really interesting, I think I was in 7th grade when I ever heard that women were, for the most part of human history, discriminated against. Like, I just didn't know that because no one ever told me that. I think I found out for the first time when I was in 7th grade when people were like, yeah, women were just in the kitchen and they couldn't work and they weren't allowed to go to school, and I was like, what?
So do you think your choices you make, because you've made some very brave choices. You've bravely moved out to California. You bravely just put on a production. I see you.
I organized a prom. That was
right,
cool.
Right. Like that's what I've seen you engage in things and be a leader. Like you said, like you're used to taking it all on, and people just let you take it all on.
Yeah, I don't want to like take over like decision making. I still want to make sure like everyone agrees with what I'm doing, but I was just used to people. Like just doing things and presenting things to people, and people usually agreed with them.
Do you think the past 2 years have empowered you as an individual?
For sure. I mean, I moved here all by myself. I was 19. I was alone. I moved multiple times. So I moved from California to Michigan to Georgia, back to California. So I was moving, oh my gosh, 3 times within 4 months to 3 different US states. Was not easy.
Was that 3 different families?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I moved from California to Michigan in April. Then I moved from Michigan to Georgia in May, and then from Georgia to California again in August.
So you've had 4 families.
4 families in the past year.
How come the
families.
first ones were so quick?
So the first one that I lived with, I stayed with them for a year. Like the program just goes a year, and then the year was over. So I was like, okay, I would just like to have like another experience. So a decision that I would maybe make differently now that I look back. But back then I was like, hey, I lived now in California for a year. Maybe it would be cool to have another experience in another US state. I realized pretty early, it's like, okay, like it's nice to be somewhere else, but there's no place like California. And I was, I don't know, if I could make the decision again, I would maybe decide differently, but I don't regret anything. Like, something I've learned, so don't regret your decisions. Like, don't regret your decisions. Like, I've made a lot of crazy things since I'm here. Nothing super crazy, but things like spontaneously going to Alaska. Fun fact, I was Greg's actor in his first ever production that he directed, together with a classmate from
Grisha.
With Grisha. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Like, people on the internet don't know Grisha, but a guy named Grisha was playing my dad, and I was playing his, Grisha's daughter, and Greg was the director, and it was the first thing he ever directed. And 10 hours after this performance, I was flying off to New Orleans kind of spontaneously because yeah.
Because that's what you do.
This is what I'm doing when
You're leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going to visit friends in Denver.
Yeah. And then where do you go from Denver?
Then I'm going to Atlanta and see my old host family in Atlanta. And then I'm coming here and I'm doing a Model UN conference. Like, what's something I've learned, so take opportunities. Like, I'm just trying to take every opportunity I get. I got the opportunity to go and do Model UN, so I did it. I got the opportunity, I got a few days off, and I got the opportunity to go to Alaska, so I did it. Or I got the opportunity to take over this presidency for the drama club, I just did it. Like, whatever opportunity I got, I was just trying to take it and just, I don't know.
Say yes.
Yeah, whatever opportunity I got, like whatever is like, it's like, I really have a mentality, it's like a why not mentality, just try it.
All right, so you want to be a lawyer.
I want to
and
be a
you
lawyer.
want to be a judge, ultimately.
Yes.
You've now had this experience that's very creative and wild.
Yeah.
Do you see it possible that you could be a wild judge?
Oh, I can for sure be a cool judge.
Yeah?
I can for sure be a cool judge. Like, acting, I don't know, I think a lot of people would disagree with me on that, but as a prosecutor, like, decided I would, like, probably, right now, like, I'm changing my opinion on which exact field I want to be as a lawyer, like, all the time. But especially, I think, as a prosecutor, you have to be good at acting, because you have to present a story, you have to convince the judge from your side of the story, and you need to be, I don't know, dramatical. You need to be able to convince people. And I think something that I can convince people, I can be really passionate about something, or I can at least pretend I am really passionate about something. This is something we learn in Germany. We learn to talk a lot without actually saying something.
Really?
Yeah. And that's
I always think of
what a disturbance sounds like.
as a Californian American, I always hear Germany's very like machine-like, stoic, unemotional. But you're saying
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Like, Germany is definitely really different than California, but it's also like the peer group that I'm like interacting with. Like, I was not really in the acting community in Germany because I don't know where I lived. There was not really an acting community. So I did it in my childhood, but then I was literally only doing school. And then I was doing dancing, what was really nice, with my best friend, so we learned ballroom dance together. But we were the youngest people in this entire class, and we were like 18. That was fun, but this is also not really like a peer group, it was just like a class that we were taking.
So you think even though you're going into this very logical career...
I think this is something I enjoy doing. I mean, I do really enjoy the political science classes. Sometimes it's a lot, but this is something I also enjoy.
You thought of international law?
Yeah, I did think about it, but the thing that I'm thinking about right now, so in Germany, it's around 3 years you get like your basic stuff done in the field, and then you can make a decision with what you like want to specialize for. And I think I'm just gonna wait and see this 3 years, like what comes up. Like I'm changing my opinion on this all the time. I wanted to do family law when I was younger, then I wanted to do criminal law, then I wanted to do human rights. This is something I'm like still interested in, that what I would really love to do. And then international law, it's also something that I'm really interested in. Common law, this is something that my university offers, US common law or British common law, but is also really interesting. Like my university that I chose has a lot of different things that you can specialize for. And I think I'm just gonna wait and see these 3 years, because I know we have like opportunities to actually like see which field is gonna look like. And as long as I don't actually get the opportunity to see, okay, this is actually how being a criminal lawyer is going to look like, or this is how international lawyer is going to look like, I don't really think I can make a decision on that. So I do not think about it so much right now. Like right now I'm still in the mood, like I think international, oh hi Rebecca! My teacher. I think international law is really interesting, and also human rights. We were talking a lot about equal rights and stuff in my political science classes recently. Also really interesting. Like there's a lot of really interesting things. I'm interested in a lot of things.
Well, so did Roe versus Wade come up in your political class?
Absolutely. And how it got overturned.
Right. Mm-hmm. I don't have a question about that.
Not about Roe versus Wade. So yeah, that's political.
Here, for me, especially the past couple years, there's been a lot of learning for me of gender fluidity and pronouns and sexual fluidity and identification.
Mm-hmm. I can also tell a story on that. But
okay, let's hear your story.
Well, I can tell a story about you when we were doing this first production that we did together. As I said, I was playing a daughter, and Grisha was playing a father. And the scene that we were doing was from Proof, I think David Orbit was his name.
Yeah.
Was his name. And we were doing the first scene where father and daughter, so the father is technically dead, but we don't know this in the beginning. We're sitting on the table talking about life, and the father's trying to motivate his daughter because she's really depressed. She's not going out, she's not eating a lot, she's like literally not doing anything, she's not working,
and
she's not going to school. And he just passed away. And she's really depressed, and she's like talking with her ghost, but we don't know yet that it's the ghost. And he's like trying to tell her, push yourself, like get your things going, like go do things. You're so talented, because she's a really, really talented math. Like she's really talented in math, like how he was. They're
like
both
better than him. Even.
Yeah, they're really talented in math. Yeah. So he's trying to motivate her, but she's really depressed. She's really sad. Her dad just passed away. She had like struggles with depression, like even years before. And the scene happens like 1 a.m. in the morning, and it's her birthday. But she didn't leave the house the entire day before. It's really early in the morning. She's drinking wine, and upstairs in her dad's office is her love interest. What was his name? Harold?
I forget it.
I think Harold was his name. He's upstairs working in her dad's office, trying to find something in his papers that is kind of useful for them to, I don't know, publish, or just something that they want to find, whatever. And Greg asked me, hey, what do you think she's wearing? The character that I was playing, Catherine. And I said, okay, her dad just passed away. She's definitely really depressed. It's 1 a.m. in the morning. She didn't leave the house the entire day. She's drinking wine. I think she's wearing probably PJs, or at least like house clothes. And then Greg said, yeah, but your love interest is upstairs. And I was like, yeah. And Greg was like, your love interest is upstairs. He's coming home to you. Would you dress up? Wouldn't you dress up? And I was like, no, absolutely not. I would not even dress up if my dad didn't die a week prior. I wouldn't even dress up if I would not be depressed. I mean, she is depressed. It's 1 a.m. in the morning, and her dad just passed away. That she's only wearing PJs, I do 100% understand, but even if I wouldn't be depressed, my dad wouldn't have passed away a week prior. And what is the other thing I said? Like it's 1 a.m. in the morning, even then I wouldn't dress up.
Right,
like I'm perfectly happy. It's
Right, like-
12 p.m. at noon, and my dad is perfectly fine and he's living his best life. Even then I wouldn't dress up when I would when my love interest would come home to me.
Right.
And this is something that we were like, he was like confused that I said that, because it's like, from my experience, it's not about how you look, it's about the way you are. And the characters know each other for like 4 years, and he's coming to her home at 1 a.m. in the morning to get work done for her. Like, I don't think she has to dress up. Like,
Well, he probably came around 9 or 8 or 9.
maybe he
and
came.
He's just been up there
Yeah,
working.
but still, then, like, this is something like a difference between me and him. Like, he was expecting like that I would say, yeah, I'm gonna dress up because my guy is coming. I was like,
No.
like, why would I care how the guy thinks I look?
So, is the same exploration happening in Germany of gender identification and people being more fluid with identity?
It's a really interesting question, because I think it's not that far than it's in the United States. I don't know it because I wasn't really part of the community when I was back in Germany, but now I have a lot of friends that are part of the community. I personally, like, I'm definitely an ally, but that's everything. But a lot of my friends are like really part of the community, so I feel like I got more into it. But I wasn't really part of the community back then. This was like nothing I was like really just seeing, so I generally don't know how it is. I just know in one of the federal states in Germany, there was just recently a law passed that forbids gender neutral. No, not forbids gender neutral language. It's like, it's more of a symbolic character, this law, I think, than an actual like something crazy that's like you end up in jail for or something like this. But in German we have for terms like teacher, student, librarian, like these are gender neutral terms, but in Germany we have only a male form and a female form, and there are like different opportunities that you can make them gender neutral. But in one of the federal states, there was just recently a law passed that forbids to use these gender neutral, like specific gender neutral terms. And from my perspective, this is a step back, because I just think like let people do whatever they want to do. This is how it was before. You could do it, you could not do it, and no one like actually really cared. Whoever wanted to do it could, and whoever wanted not, they just did not. And I think that was the best way of dealing with it. But now no one is allowed to do it anymore, and I feel like for the people who actually really care about this gender neutral language, it's not a big majority. I think it's a small minority group, like people who get like really who are like really deep into this topic, because what we usually do, we only use the male version to represent everyone. I do feel represented by that, but I know a lot of people do not, and I just think it's sad that these people can't feel seen anymore. It's not a big group, but it's like, I just think for the people who are really interested in this and take like really, really appreciate this gender neutral language, this law is a really big deal. For the other part of the population who don't care, it's no deal. So I don't understand why this law even exists.
Well, here's what I'm wondering. One of my friends who lives in France, he's worried that he believes a fascist government is coming in to will be the ruling government of France.
Why are we talking about politics the entire time?
Because you're signed up for a class. Well, it's well, like you said, everything's politics.
Everything is politics. This is something we talked about. Who said? I think it was Aristotle who said, like whatever, like groups of people are always politics. Like,
okay,
everything is politics.
Here's an unpolitical but embarrassing question.
Oh gosh, no way.
You ready?
No.
You don't have to answer it.
There we go.
Okay, but I'm still going to ask it.
Ask me.
Did you have a crush on anyone here at College of Marin?
I might do.
I might do.
I might. There might.
Oh, even now? There might even be
it might even be someone that you met before.
All right. And we'll just leave it at that. Okay. Is there anything you're excited about in returning back to Germany?
I'm really excited to go to university.
Yeah.
Like I I enjoyed not having so much responsibility for my future while I was here, but I'm really excited to actually do have responsibility again. And I mean, I'm taking classes, but don't think I'm going to be able to transfer these classes. I was just taking classes because I really enjoy learning things. So I'm taking like a lot of poli science classes. I was taking criminal procedure and criminal law last year. No, when was that? In spring 2023, and fall 2022. Year. And then acting classes, and I was taking theater history. I just really do enjoy learning things. This is why I was taking these classes, but it was nothing that I can actually use for my degree in the future. But I'm really excited to actually work in my field and do a lot of classes and things in my field because I'm really interested. I'm really interested in law, and we don't have that much law-related classes here. The most law-related classes we had were criminal law and criminal procedure. Right. And then I was taking politics and acting, and I was taking English and piano too, but mostly then politics and acting. But I'm really happy that I can actually do a lot of law classes. So this all fields. So I can this is something I'm really excited for. And going back to dance school because
really?
This is something
Are you
I really
continue ballroom?
I will continue ballroom for sure. And seeing friends and family again that I haven't seen in a long time, that's really exciting. Then for the first time in my life actually living by myself in my own little apartment in the little city that I'm going to move to for university. That's really exciting. I plead the fifth on that. I don't want people to fight me.
All right.
And the food.
Really?
Yeah.
What German food are you missing?
Well, not the German food in general. I'm not the biggest fan of the German traditional dishes, but in America, food is really heavy and a lot of cheese. I mean, I do love cheese. I love cheese, but
have you gone to that cheese place in Point Reyes?
No.
Oh.
Unfortunately not.
So is there a German snack that you've missed that isn't available here?
They're really, really good gummies in Germany. Really, really, really good gummies that I'm eating since I'm a child, and I do miss them. I think my mom, she was sending me 4 times. She was sending me a package while I was here, and she was sending me German candy for my birthday or for Christmas, and all the time she was sending me this gummies. The last time it was really funny because she sent it me so much, and I knew I'm not eating so much candy, so I knew I wouldn't be able to eat all of it. So I was bringing it sometimes to rehearsals when I was watching rehearsals for some of the shows that we did here at the college, and I was just placing it at the table, and Nick Green was here, go enjoy. And whenever I wanted to grab one, it was already gone. I mean, it was my fault. I gave it to them.
Yeah.
But that was funny. And I do miss the candy. The candy is really good. I'm not the biggest fan of most of American candies. I do like some, but I really like my childhood German candy. I think that's understandable. Don't we have all candy that we ate since we were children?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys celebrate Halloween or something like that?
I love Halloween because I love to dress up in costumes. I freaking love costumes. I use every opportunity to wear a costume.
All right. Anything else that you'd like to bring up or touch upon?
Maybe we can talk about our production.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What can we talk about? Performances?
Okay.
Yeah,
How do you feel about your own personal performance? Hey, did you see the link that Mike sent for the video?
I did not see it yet. I didn't keep watching it.
It's just a single camera. It's not edited yet.
Yeah.
When it's edited, I'll send it to you.
Yay, I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, so you haven't really seen your performance?
Nope.
Okay.
That's another thing. I was originally not supposed to direct it. I was originally not supposed to act in it. I ended up as a director and an actor. Another thing I've learned, don't take over all the roles in this, in the entire production. I was the playwright, I was the producer of this entire project. I was the playwright, the director, the actor, the set designer, the costume designer, the lighting designer. Yeah. I think that's it. 7 roles in one. No, I'm not going to do this again. 1 role is definitely enough. 1 or 2, but not all of them at once. And I'm not doing this because I think I can make a better job than someone else. I'm literally just doing it because I don't want to bother anyone else with work.
Well, but you did say that you learned from this experience that you can ask for help earlier, and it's okay to bring people in to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, learning was my...
So that seems like a good lesson just in life in general.
Yeah, and something I also learned is don't climb up a container between your shows. I climbed up a container between my shows. I fell off of it.
How did you fall off? If you don't drink, you don't do drugs.
I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I was just
What, were you doing ballroom dancing on it?
No, I just didn't watch my step.
So you just took a step and there was nothing there?
I was trying to get down, but I didn't do a really good job on getting down.
You fell down instead.
Yeah, I fell down instead of getting down. Like most people, they were trying to jump down controlled, but there's a difference between falling down uncontrolled and jumping down controlled, even it's like around the same height. Yeah.
Where's your friendship bracelet?
Yeah, my friendship bracelet, that's at home.
It is?
Yeah.
How come you're not wearing it?
Why am I not wearing it? It's a really good question. I generally don't know. Yeah,
You were so happy to get it.
I know. I get friendship bracelets for the main character and for their best friend, and talked to the person who played my best friend, who's a like really really good friend of mine. It's like, hey, can we please like keep them for the rest of our lives and always wear them? He's always wearing his, but I just forgot. I forgot.
They go by they.
Bradley's going by they.
They, them.
Landers is definitely going by they, them. I don't know if Bradley's
I
going
thought
by
Landers was who you were referring
No,
to.
I'm talking about Bradley. Bradley was playing Kent.
Landers was playing...
Letitia.
Oh, Kent from... Okay, Kent really is from Germany. I mean,
Bradley is not from Germany.
He isn't?
No, they're from here.
Because his Instagram seems to...
Really? I don't know that.
I think so.
I know. I don't
Is there anyone else you know in the production from Germany? No?
I don't know anyone from Germany. Fun fact, when I was doing 12th Night last year, there was a person in the cast, I think her name was Iris. She was German, and I didn't find out until after the show already closed.
Wow.
She knew German, and I just didn't know that. No one told, I just didn't know that she was like literally German. Like we were working together for weeks, and like almost 2 months till like performances and everything was over, and I just didn't.
How old was she when she moved here?
No, I think she was. I don't know.
Oh,
I think she was born here. Yeah.
But her mom or father?
Probably. I have no idea about her family history. Just people told me, yeah, she was German, but
Well, my mom's family's from Germany.
Yeah, I heard it a lot.
Back a few generations.
A lot of people tell me that they have relatives from Germany.
Yeah, my grandmother was Grandma Abel.
Aww.
She was very German.
She was very German. Oma Abel.
She was my great grandmother, and she was scary. Do you have any scary relatives in your life?
Scary relatives. I don't know a whole lot of them, but I don't think any of them are scary.
All right, so thinking of Tubi,
Tubi was a production name.
Did it meet your hopes and dreams? Did it fail your hopes and dreams, or did it exceed your hopes and dreams?
Definitely exceed. I was so happy. I was so happy. I did not realize that it would end up this good as it ended. Like for me at least. I loved it. I had a lot of fun. We were meeting up before, and we were building the set. We were crafting things and moving things around, and we made up once a week in a famous coffee place to talk about this entire project and about names and design and everything. And it was a lot of work, but it was so much fun. And obviously I enjoyed every part of it. I mean, I did most of the paperwork because there was a lot of paperwork to get done in order to, release it so we can be filmed, and sounding, and the room request, and item request, and everything, lots of paperwork that just had to get done. And I enjoy that part too. I don't know. I do enjoy paperwork sometimes. But the acting part, I'm an actor in my heart. That was obviously that was my favorite part. And I don't know, I just had so much fun. So for me it was a success because I had so much fun, and I know that other people, like the people in our cast, had a lot of fun. I saw Instagram posts from my friends who were posting, "Oh my gosh, thank you for this great experience, and thank you so much for everything." And Dom, who was playing the love interest of the lead, came up to me and was like, "Sarah, thank you so much for casting me. This is like I haven't had so much fun in a really long time." And this just makes me happy that people had so much fun. And because we all had so much fun, this is already a success. I know our audience liked it too, but even if they wouldn't have liked it, I think because we had so much fun, we enjoyed so much doing it and producing it, and the actors enjoyed it, and everyone who was working behind the scenes with us, because they enjoyed it so much, I think that's already making it a success.
I agree. All right, so is there any questions you want to ask me before we sign off?
Any questions I want to ask you? What is your opinion? How do you think it turned out?
It's fabulous. I'm very, very happy. I feel very blessed. I think everyone was incredible. I think it just feels like a family was created.
Yes. That's something really cool about acting. Like you become a family. You get really close with the people you're working together with.
That's also the sad part for me. In all the productions I've been involved with, you get so close, and then you say goodbye. Suddenly, you're
no
gone.
More performances, no more performances. And then you have to strike. You have to put everything off the stage that you were using, and you're like, my beautiful set.
Yeah, I still have a couple
really
things I have to strike. I haven't struck yet.
Oh my gosh! I think we striked everything.
No, I gotta do the backdrop.
Oh yeah. The backdrop. Also funny.
All right, anything else?
I don't think so.
Thank you, Sarah. Many blessings to you and your adventures. Take a bow.